What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome to MovieBall. I am ranking the top 50 players in the league. Controversy, disagreement, penis. I am breaking the ranking in half to 2 videos because it is a lot. So on today's episode, we will have numbers 50 through 26. If, you don't want to see those numbers, if you don't like those numbers, I guess wait to the next video and, FYI, this counts NBA players from their most current season, their most recent performance. I'm going to look at those seasons and those stats, and basically that's how I'm going to decide where I'm going to rank them on the upcoming 2019 to 20 NBA season. If a player is injured, for example, like Klay Thompson, I'm not going to count injured players out of the equation. I'm going to rank them as if they were fully healthy or like never got injured. And this isn't a all-time ranking, overall career ranking list. This is this current season where I see going into this year how these players rank, how they stack up. So don't get your panties in a jumble. Number 50, Kyle Lowry. Lowry has always been a player I thought got way too much hate because he is a very pesky defender, a good rebounder, a great distributor, and he's a very admirable scorer when he has to be. Perhaps he hasn't been the most consistent player in the playoffs, but it doesn't matter because he has a championship under his belt now and there won't be any pressure, so that could all change this upcoming season. Number 49, Chris Middleton. Maybe this is too low for some people because he was an all-star last season, and while I do think he is a very good and solid player, I don't see him as much more than that. He can do a little bit of everything, but I need to see more from him if he wants to jump up any higher in this ranking. Number 48, Draymond Green. 2 years ago, Draymond would have been in the top 30. 3 years ago, he would have been in the top 20. But we're counting the most recent performance, as I said, and he had a pretty underwhelming season. Although he was exceptional in the playoffs, I need to see that on a more consistent basis from Draymond if he wants to jump up higher in this list. Number 47, Al Horford. Arguably underrated, arguably overrated. It's hard to exactly pin where Al Horford belongs because to some people, he doesn't even make the top 50, and others he makes the top 25. It all depends how you look at his game. He is a very great, reliable source of defense and grit, who's an all-around player. He can shoot the three, he can rack up assists, but he's just going to do that all with no flash whatsoever, and he doesn't have to be a great NBA player. Number 46, Lauri Markkanen. Some people might not agree with putting a third-year player over some of these more established all-stars and veterans, but to me, I just can't ignore the fact that he averaged 19 points and 9 rebounds last season in his second year, and I look at this group of players that I've mentioned already, and I think, yeah, if I'm going to pick one of them, I want Lauri Markkanen on my team. Number 45, Pascal Siakam. Siakam has still got a lot to prove. Can he be the number one guy on a playoff team? And I think we all believe that the answer is yes, but he's gonna have to flourish. He's gonna have to really jump into this role and show us all that he can raise his numbers even higher than he did winning Most Improved. He had a terrific postseason. Yes, he was great in the finals, but can he do it for an entire season and be that guy? We'll see, but for now, he's number 45. Number 44, Darren Fox. I think Fox will continue to develop and improve and show us once again why he's a young guard to keep an eye on. He's extremely quick with fantastic distribution skills, and I'm just excited to see where he takes his game next. Number 43, Trey Young. Much like Fox, Young is a young, dynamic guard with huge potential. Even more so with Trey, as he averaged 19 and 8 last year as a rookie. He's already proven himself to be in the upper echelon of point guards in this league. Number 42, John Collins. I'll give the nod to Trey Young's teammate as slightly better than him due to an extra year of experience in the league, but they're both young future stars. Collins averaged 19 and 10 last year, and I think that he's just a very great, talented young player that a lot of people will overlook once again. Number 41, Lou Williams. One of the greatest sixth men of all time. Lou Will is just a bucket getter. He doesn't really do anything else all that great in particular. He's a pretty decent distributor. He averaged, I think, around like 5 assists for the past 2 or 3 seasons. But he's going to do that one thing very, very well. He's going to score with simplicity. Number 40, Jrue Holiday. An all-defense defender, an effective scorer, and a good playmaker, Jrue has always been a consistent all-around threat. Maybe people think that he deserves to be higher in this list, maybe in the 30s, but no, not for me. Number 39, Tobias Harris. An efficient scorer and a team-first player, Tobias has never really flourished into that superstar role. And maybe he's never really been given a fair chance, but he can definitely be a team's third best player in winning a championship, and I'm excited to see what he can do for the Sixers this year. Number 38, Clint Capela. Honestly, Capela is very underrated. Sure, you're going to want to take Tobias over him when it comes to being a go-to scorer and just leading your team offensively, but Capela has improved every year he's been in the league, and he averaged something like 16 and 12 last year. I honestly think that he could have been an all-star consideration if he never got injured towards around January, February, whenever it was. 16 and 12, that's comparable to Rudy Gobert's numbers. Is he as good as him? No, but he plays his role perfectly as a rim running center who can swat shots back. Number 37, Julius Randle. I'm a Knicks fan. What kind of stupid stuff will I say next? Relax, this is the only Knick on my list. It's not like RJ Barrett is on here, but as far as I'm concerned, everyone's sleeping on Julius Randle. He averaged 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists last season. I do think he's better than Tobias. Look at those numbers. And he did that next to Anthony Davis, of all people. Oh, but Joe, stats aren't everything. Well, that's maybe true, but he still had to put up 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists every night. I mean, just come on. That's good. Number 36, CJ McCollum. CJ is like a little bit of a better version of Lou Williams. If CJ had his own team, it wouldn't be shocking at all to think that he could average something like 25 points, but he doesn't. And unfortunately, but unfortunately for his sake of making it higher in this list, I don't think he'll ever crack the top 30 because, Number 35, CJ's teammate, Jusuf Nurkic. If not due to his devastating injury, could the Blazers have beaten the KD-less Warriors and made it to the NBA Finals? Probably not still, but at the same time, he definitely would have helped them push that series further. A great rebounder, defender, and third option to Lillard and McCollum, Nurkic is just a great example of a noble center in the NBA. Number 34, D'Angelo Russell. I don't know how well he's going to fit with the Warriors, but this man put up 21 points and 7 assists last year, leading the Brooklyn Nets to the playoffs. I mean, think about that for a second. Remember how shitty this team was just 3 seasons ago? A large part of their success was because of D'Angelo Russell, and although I'm not so sure about his fit on the Warriors, like I said, it'll be exciting to see what he brings to the table. Number 33, Kevin Love. This may be too high for a player that most people would call an aging and weakened version of himself, but Love had a good season last year. He was just injured for most of it. Sure, he might have been on a very, 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 very bad Cavs, but at the same time, he's still going to give you 17 and 10, and I think his leadership role has skyrocketed as well. He's probably most likely going to get traded to hopefully a contender where he can show the world that he is still a good player, because I think people underrate him just because he's on a bad team and he's not the flashiest player anymore. He's not going to give you Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love numbers. I think that's, we're way past that, but at the same time, Love, I'm still impressed with his game. Number 32, Donovan Mitchell. Averaging 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists in your second season is super impressive. He could use some work on his defense, but he's already a top 10 shooting guard in the league. Number 31, Zach LaVine. Fuck you, Sports Illustrated. Fuck you. There aren't 89 players in the league better than LaVine. There's only 29. Mirroring Mitchell's numbers, they're both very similar in play style, but I think I just prefer LaVine's sleek jump shot. Number 30, DeMar DeRozan. I love DeRozan. He's one of my favorite players in the league, but it feels like people just forgot about him. People might also disagree with him over Mitchell, but I would take DeRozan all day. Mitchell might have the better three-point shot, but they're still both go-to scorers, and to go along with that, DeRozan averaged a career-best 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Number 29, Chris Paul. Say what you will about CP, and you can say it. He's an aging, regressed version of himself, but he's still a top 30 player in the league. If he's healthy, he's a nightly threat. That's just what it comes down to. He might have had an injury-riddled and subpar season last year, so that might have lowered expectations, but he is still going to give you some assists, some points, some good leadership. He knows what he's doing. Chris Paul, number 29. Number 28, Kristaps Porzingis. The ex-Knick hasn't played in almost 2 years, so I get that it's a little weird to call him the 28th best player in basketball, but going back to that 2017 All-Star season, he was a two-way stud. All he has to do to solidify himself as a top 25 player in the league is to stop grabbing 6 rebounds per game. You're like 7 feet tall. You're the unicorn. You should be averaging like 11. Number 27, LaMarcus Aldridge. Steady, reliable, and consistent, Aldridge was the Spurs all-star last season and even dropped 50 points in a game. He might have had a hard time playing sidekick to Kawhi a few years back, but he's still one of the best power forwards in the league. And number 26, Bradley Beal. There are not many shooting guards in the league better than Beal, and last year he proved that he is in an elite group of players. 25, 5, and 5 is James Harden-esque, and it'll be exciting to see him ball out once again. That is it for my first half of top 50 players in the NBA. Watch for part 2, numbers 25 through number 1, coming very soon. No one is ever going to completely agree on these lists. Everyone's got different opinions on players and where they would rank them, but I hope I could get some of you guys to agree or understand my reasonings and views. If not, my bad, I'm wrong. Smash that like button! Pretend that like button is any number of pins in a bowling lane. You're getting up, you're up to bat. You don't bat in bowling, but you're there with, you got the fingers in the holes, and you're holding the ball, and you which pin is it going to be? It doesn't matter. Any number one of those 12 pins, it doesn't matter because you're going to get a strike. You just knock them all over. That's the like button. And the bowling ball, we're not, if I see a bowling ball head into the gutter, play with bumpers if you have to. I don't want to see, you miss. If you miss, even if you just hit a couple of pins, that's not enough, because what if the one pin that you didn't hit is the like button? You have to get a strike. I throw the ball if you have to. Strike, you're out. That's baseball. Okay, well, that's the video. Time to turn this shit off. I'm done.